Have you ever been hopeless? No vision for the future, no understanding of the present, no reconciliation with the past, hopeless. 6,874 days ago on the 9th of June, a young boy of 9 years old would leave his primary school days as the summer sun lit up his soft smile, only to be told by his mother that his father had taken his life. An event defined and designed by hopelessness. That young boy, carrying an unimaginable and unbearable amount of weight, would go on to be a straight-A student, head boy of his school. In fact, he found hope. His family and his friends had hope. However, his journey was far from over, and the next kind of few years, that weight became tough for his shoulders to bear as that head boy, and he would reach a point where the next 6 years of his life from leaving school were filled with drug abuse, financial difficulty, a failed business, a failed university degree, and mental health challenges that would leave him in the same shoes as his father, hopeless. After 11 months of psychotherapy and medication, however, he would finally free himself from some of that weight, the guilt of his father's suicide. And as he stepped on the pavement after his final therapy appointment, sound and color would flood back into his life, and he reclaimed his smile, and in this blissful sense of freedom, from the depths of his being came a question. If money was no object, being the talented, driven, hard-working, good-looking, well-dressed young man that he was, if you haven't guessed it, this story is about myself, okay? But if money was no object, what would you wake up every single day and do? And my answer to that question, that perfectly timed, powerful question that felt like it was intertwined with the divine, that felt so complex yet so pure at the same time, was simple. It was to be the voice that I wish I had when I was young, to be of service. My name is Daniel Wilsher. I'm the founder of LivedX Learning and the co-founder of Orb Drinks. And over the past 4 years, I've dedicated my life to creating moments of human connection that enable human potential for our students in schools, the staff, and the parents as well, and our UK workforce, working with over 60,000 people live, sharing my story to 5 million people on TV on a show called The Piano. Did anyone see season 1? Raise your hand if you did. Amazing. A few hands have gone up. When I ask this question in secondary schools, the answer I get is this. That's what TV and fame does for you, eh? But over the past 4 years, again, been on an incredible journey. We delivered a project just 2 years ago called the 100 Talks for Change project, delivering 100 talks in 20 days across 63 schools to impact 25,000 young people. I've been able to mentor some young kids and been blessed enough to save a few lives along the way, and it's been a dream, a genuine dream. Now, when I was designing this talk, I was like, I'm going to bring you all the research studies and talk about the neuroscience of service and talk about how oxytocin is released through random acts of kindness and how that can create a more altruistic brain, and how if you practice gratitude, you can increase the intensity of the feeling of reward when someone gives to you or when you receive, and bring you all the facts and figures and studies and absolutely blow your brains with knowledge. But I've decided that I'm not going to do that. For a few reasons. Number one, I'm simply not clever enough. Number two, I don't know how much I trust ChatGPT yet, okay. And number three, the sole reason that I'm here today is to give you all a kick up the arse to look after each other more, to be of service more to your fellow humans. And I'm a great believer that the way to do that is not to bring a research study from a top university, but to connect with you here as a human on this stage, to inspire potential for change, potential for service, and potential for hope. I want to ask you a question. Think about this in your mind, okay? If I today impact the lives of 2 people positively, and the next month they go on to impact the lives of another 2 people each, so 4 new people the next month, and then the month after that, those 4 new people pay it forward and impact the lives of 2 new people each, totaling 8 that month, how long do you think it would be before this entire world had had their lives impacted by a stranger? Let me give you a clue. Month 17, we'd be at 268,000, about the population of Brighton. Something wonderful happens at month 25 that compounds to around about 68 million. But just 7 months later, at month 32, that 68 million compounds and transforms through the mechanics of human connection to reach the number 8,589,934,951. Yeah? Did it in the rehearsals a few times, it didn't come out like that, so I'm glad it has done. But amazing, what a figure. That means today, if I start that journey today and was to impact people, 2 people, and the next month they impacted 2 each, and again the next month after, by the end of December 2027, everyone will have had their lives positively impacted by a stranger because of someone or one small act of service some 2 years and 7 months earlier. But listen, what if people didn't wait a month? What if, hypothetically speaking, I impact someone today and the 2 people that I impact today pay it forward within 24 hours? We reach that number of 8 billion, I'm not going to say it again, in 32 days. 32 days, imagine a world like that. Imagine that world. Imagine a planet like that. At the moment, human connection, service, community is dwindling. We can all feel it. Social media fills our lives with likes and comments that fire off dopamine signals in our brain, yet leave our heart and our soul craving for a deeper connection that, frankly, we are losing the skills to be able to fulfill. 80% of young people in 2021 reported feeling lonely, with 20% saying they had no friends, no close friends. In the same year, 12% of adults said they also had no close friends, compared to 3% some 30 years before. 25% of UK families only sit down for a meal around the table once a week or less. And a third of UK adults express a desire to want to socialize more but struggle because of financial constraints or the difficulty of actually meeting someone. And the thing that I think summarizes this wonderfully well, the point, is that in 2018, the UK established its first ever ministry of loneliness. We have a ministry for loneliness here in the UK. But why service? Why am I recommending service to you guys? Well, where a lack of human connection causes an increase of cortisol in the blood, service reduces it. Where a lack of human connection causes anxiety and depression, service reduces it. Where a lack of human connection causes someone to feel alone, service not only reminds them that they are not, but is the deeper bond that makes their relationship stronger. Where a lack of human connection pulls at the fabrics of our communities, in our towns, in our cities, service ties it all together again. Where there is difficulty, it brings ease. Where there is fear, it brings love. Where there is sadness, it brings joy. And where there's hardship, it brings hope. It brings hope. If you are in this room today and you feel hopeless, if you are struggling with your mental health, depression, anxiety, if you are feeling disconnected from this world and your £59 grounding bedsheet from Amazon just isn't doing the trick, okay? Yeah? I'm here to tell you that the answer to helping yourself may not lie in helping yourself, but in helping somebody else. The answer to you helping yourself may not lie in helping yourself, but in helping somebody else in service. So how can we be of service a little bit more? Well, it starts with the easy, small acts of kindness, holding the door open for someone. Some people have forgot that in today's world. Compliments to our friends, paying for the person's coffee in the queue behind you, showing gratitude, doing our best to actually lift up the people that are close to us and that are around us. I had a moment of gratitude that I was so overwhelmed with a few weeks ago. I was playing the piano in Manchester Piccadilly Station, as I do after London, and I played for about half an hour. I was playing my heart out. This young girl, she came and she dropped a note on the side of the piano, and she walked off and she didn't say anything. She didn't speak. And I opened it and it had £20 in, and it said, "I feel guilty to listening to you for free, so here, I've just paid for a shockingly cheap gig." I was pleased. But I was so overwhelmed with connection and joy in that moment. The video is on social media at Daniel James Wilsher with an ER if you want to have a look. Got to plug the social media in. Thank you for finding that one funny. Thank you, I appreciate that. But I was so overwhelmed with emotion and connection. The first thought that I had was I'm going to pay this forward. I'm going to give this experience that I've just had from a stranger to somebody else, give them that £20 note with a note that I would write myself. That was the first thought that came into my head. The second thought was a little bit more intrusive, and it was the £20 could go a long way to a Chinese this evening. Yeah. I didn't choose that option. Obviously, I'm a wholesome man. I went with the first. But service also doesn't have to be for a stranger. Service can be for our friends. Women, you are brilliant at nurturing your friendships, okay? Men, on the other hand, we are not so great. Men, as we get older, our friendship circles dwindle until the friends we do have left are the husbands of our wives' friends, basically. Yeah. So maintain those relationships, be intentional about the people around you, be of service to them. So those are the small things. But let's think a little bit bigger. What can we do on a bigger scale? Can you volunteer for your local charity? Can you organize a well-being event in your organization to support your colleagues because they're struggling a little bit? Can you organize a fitness event where all of you pull together to raise money for your local community, or some of the spaces that are bringing creativity into the city itself? Can you, if you run a business, dedicate part of your profits to social mobility so that kids can get some services for free, and parents and teachers as well, because Lord knows they need it at the moment? Can you dedicate an hour of your staff's time every month to develop the social skills of those kids who need it as well through mentorship? Have you had a passion for music and a successful career in music, and do you have a powerful voice and a powerful gift? And can you use that to campaign for more investment into creative arts and creative spaces, because the only reason that you had a career in music was because of that guitar that had a few missing strings in your youth club that allowed you to explore your God-given talent, and now you want to pay that forward? Okay. Did you lose a parent to suicide? Can you start a service-based business to support people through the same thing? The answer to those questions is you can. You can, you can, you can, you guys up there can, everybody in this room can, we can. Okay? And I'll be honest with you, the way things are heading, it's not going to come to us. We have to go and find it, okay? We have to be the change we want to see in the world. Now, I'm a public speaker, and this is TEDx, so I thought it's only right that I bring a few quotes with me today, so I have two for you. The first: the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Mahatma Gandhi, wonderful quote. The second one I want to share, and I really love this one, is we all have the power to turn the darkest moments of our lives into the parts which shine the brightest. That one was me. Yeah, that's a Daniel James Wilsher original, signed, sealed, delivered on the TEDx stage. Okay, if any of you in the audience are writing a self-help book and you want to include it, come and find me afterwards, we can chat business, okay? Nice and easy. I'm serious. But why did I use that composition of words, those two quotes, those two sentences? At the start of this talk, I told you all a story about a young boy who'd lost his dad to suicide. I didn't just find myself in service. I was able to bring some meaning, some purpose, and some peace to the life of that young 9-year-old boy, to a point where that suicide is no longer heavy. In fact, it's one of the most beautiful parts of his life, and this brings me on to my final point. We have the power to change our relationship with our difficult experiences if we place them at the root of our service, because those branches will grow into connection, into wonder, into love, into joy, and most importantly, into hope. And I'll be honest with you, I just wish more people knew what I know. So now you do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So if you didn't notice, there is a piano on the stage, okay? There's a reason for it. I'm going to play you a song that I wrote specifically for TEDxBrighton. So this is the first time people are hearing it, and I know you've got a love for music in this city, so please be kind with your criticism, basically. Yeah? I haven't got a name for it as well, so if you're open to suggestions, you can drop me a message on the socials that you follow, yeah? No, I'm joking. our hands, would they be wasted in the palm of a man? Or would it be so hard to understand, slipping through my fingers like sand? But I know I'll be someone's light in the night, wipe away those heavy eyes. I've seen this will cry. We could build paradise, you and I, but I know I'll bring some hope to home if I make someone feel less alone. But Lord knows I've been hopeless once or twice before, but I lose myself in service to find a little more. But I know I'll be someone's light in the night, wipe away those heavy eyes. I've seen this will cry. We could build paradise, you and I, but I know I'll bring some hope to home if I make someone feel less alone. Oh, I know I'll bring some hope. Oh, I know I'll bring some hope. Oh, I know I'll bring some hope. Oh, but I know I'll bring some hope to home if I make someone feel less alone. Thank you very much. Thank you.